Hey, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to Kiande's Music Review. Of course, I'm your host, Kiande, and as always, I'm excited to share this time with you. Today, I am back with 10 more of my all-time favorite albums. So if you're here for that today, if you enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification button. So let's jump right into it. I have everything that I need. Today, I have some delicious fruit punch. Yes. Have some wonderful music playing, and most importantly, I have you, beautiful people, to share this time with. All right, let's do it. First of all, I want to say happy holidays to you. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you have a happy new year. And of course, I am here with my holiday hat. It had to make an appearance this year, and I am here for it. All right. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So let's talk about some music. We lost a musical great. And I want to say rest in peace to legendary songwriter, producer, arranger, Mr. Tom Bell. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the many years of musical magic that you brought to us and to the world. We will not forget it. Have a peaceful journey. Thank you. All right, let's do this. 10 more of my all-time favorite albums. You know, I choose these albums, excuse me, randomly. They are albums that I've loved for a long time, have been with me for a long time, that I continue to enjoy. So let's jump right into the first one. The first one is the debut album by singer, songwriter, musician D'Angelo and his album Brown Sugar. Let me show it. You guys all know this. We all know and love this album. Yes, yes, yes. It was released in 1995 on EMI Records. D'Angelo is one of the original leaders of the neo soul movement. He set a new standard for male vocalists of the time, and he brought it with this album. Of course, it had the hit songs Brown Sugar, Me and Those Dreaming Eyes of Mine, love that. Lady, his version of Cruisin', and my favorite D'Angelo song, which is When We Get By. But the whole album from top to bottom is just wonderful. It's classic. He really came and delivered on this debut project. He let the world know that a new kid was in town, and he absolutely delivered. It was a multi-platinum release, and like I said, he set a new standard for this album. So Brown Sugar. Yes, yes, yes. We all love it. Let me take a sip of this real quick. Mm. Mm. All right. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, next up, we have the self-titled release from Marc, Courtney Johnson, and the Dan Cray Trio. This is what I've been listening to, which you'll hear throughout this video. Let me show you this album. Cover. Yes, Marc, Courtney Johnson, and the Dan Cray Trio. This was released in 2004 on his own label. It is jazz with just a little touch of R&B. The trio consists of piano, bass, and drums, with Marc providing the lead vocals. And it's a wonderful, wonderful project. I don't know much about Marc, Courtney Johnson. I really don't. I did research on him. I can't find much about him. I can't find another album by him. I don't see much of him on YouTube. I don't know. I just happened to run across this album many years ago. I just took a chance. I think I ordered it online, and just looked interesting. So I bought it, and I loved it, and I still love it. It's smooth jazz. His voice is so smooth. His interpretation is right on point of these classic songs, as well as some original material as well. But he does like a beautiful version of Lush Life. He does Almost Like Being in Love. He does Luther's Forever for Always for Love. And this original song called Better, which really, really moves me every time I hear it. But if you guys know anything more about Marc, Courtney Johnson, please let me know, because I love this project. So let me show it to you one more time. That's it. That's it. All right, let's move on. Next up is the debut album by R&B, jazz, funk, disco band Heatwave, and it is called Too Hot to Handle. Let me show it to you. All right, so this is one of the covers. This is a US cover, but there was another cover as well. And this is the alternate cover. But I'm going to stick with this one because this was the US cover. But Too Hot to Handle. Yes, this was released in 1976 on the GTO label. It immediately showed the versatility of the band. The band is incredible. They made some incredible music, some incredible albums, and I just love Heatwave. It had the popular songs Boogie Nights, we all know that, Ain't No Half Steppin', Come On Now, and of course, Always and Forever. But when I was a kid, the two songs that I loved that I had on constant rotation were Super Soul Sister, Yes God, and All You Do Is Dial. Those two songs just did it for me. Even to this day, I still love those two songs. But the album's just great from top to bottom. The band, they are wonderful. It includes Rod Temperton, who is one of my favorite songwriters, and also the lead vocals of Johnny and Keith Wilder, and you can't go wrong with this combination. But Too Hot to Handle was just a great setup for the future success that they had. So let me show it to you one more time. Yes, Heatwave. That's it. All right, let's move on. We have the second solo album by vocalist and songwriter Mr. Jeffrey Osborne, and it's Stay With Me Tonight. Yes, 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 yes. You got this right here. Of course, he had a long career with LTD, and he went solo, and it had immediate success with his first album. Now, with the second album, he did not suffer from sophomore jinx because he brought it with this project. It was released in 1983 on A&M Records. It was produced by Mr. George Duke himself. It had the singles Stay With Me Tonight, Plain Love, We're Going All the Way, and my all-time favorite Jeffrey Osborne song, Don't You Get So Mad. That is my joint right there. But it was a tremendous success for Jeffrey. It elevated his career. It rose to number 3 on the R&B albums charts, and it was just a great project. And his voice is just immaculate throughout the whole recording, and I just love Jeffrey Osborne. So let me show this to you one more time. Jeffrey Osborne, Stay With Me Tonight. Yes, indeed. All right, who we got next? All right, we got the debut album by jazz drummer Otis Brown III, and it's called The Thought of You. Let me show this to you. Oh, I love this album. I really, really do. It was released in 2014 on Blue Note Records. It's a brilliant mix of post-bop jazz with a little pop, a little gospel, and just incredible all the way through. It has such a wonderful feel. It's intimate, it's warm, it's lyrical, it's just amazing. It's definitely a jazz album. Don't get me wrong, they didn't take any shortcuts, but like I said, there's just a hint of pop, there's the hint of gospel that just adds perfectly to the mix. It's an incredible band, incredible ensemble. In the mix is Robert Glasper. You know, you can feel his presence throughout, as well as vocalist Bilal, Nikki Ross, and Gretchen Parlato, who add to the modern mix of the project. I was hoping he would make another album, but as of yet he has not. This one was incredible. It got wonderful reviews, and I fell in love with it the moment I heard it. He is a drummer, but his drums do not get lost in the mix. It's definitely his album, but the whole ensemble of the project just makes it a wonderful, wonderful experience. So let me show it to you one more time. Yes, Otis Brown III, The Thought of You. Check this out. All right. Next up, we have the 5th album by Peaches and Herb, the 5th album featuring Linda Green as Peaches, that is, and their album, Saying Something. Let me show it to you. Got the vinyl here. Yes. Saying Something. This was released in 1981 on Polydor Records. Now, I'm not going front. There are no big hits on this album, but there is wonderful music. They're still sweet, they're still soulful, and that's what they were known for, you know, throughout their career. I've always loved this album. I think I was 9 years old when it came out, and me and my god sister Pam, we loved Peaches and Herb, and we loved this album right here. Yeah, they had such a good combination. Their voices complemented each other, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful project. It had the incredible songs, Bluer Than Blue, the up-tempo Wear You Out, the just feel good, Dream Come True, the beautiful I Wish I Could Be a Kid Again, and my favorite, the incredible Picking Up the Pieces. But this is, you know, not a lot of people talk about Peaches and Herb or give them their credit, but I've always enjoyed them. And this album, Saying Something, is definitely one of my favorites by them. So let me show it to you one more time. Yes, Peaches and Herb, Saying Something. All right. Next up, what we got? We have the debut solo album by singer, songwriter, producer, musician, George Michael, and his album Faith. Show this. We know this. The world knows this album. It was released in 1987 on Columbia and Epic Records. It was a massive, massive hit for George Michael. It totally separated him from what he did with Wham and gave him an identity of his own, and it took the world by storm. It spent 12 weeks at #1 on the pop charts, and it made it to #1 on the R&B charts as well. Sold over 25 million copies. Like I said, this was a massive, massive release, and there was no song on here that was filler. It was a great album from beginning to end, a wonderful listen. It was addictive, and you just got caught up in this album. But my songs, One More Try, Come On, Father Figure, Kissing a Fool, Monkey, Hard Day, everything was amazing on this project. In high school, me and my friend Tanya used to love this album, and I'm sure she still does to this day because I know I do. George Michael, not much more than I can say. Faith. There it is. All right. Next, we have the debut album by vocalist Miss Miki Howard, Come Share My Love. Yes, this is it. I know y'all know this one. She had done 3 albums with the group Side Effect, so this was her breakout solo album, and it was a wonderful, wonderful album. It was released in 1986 on Atlantic Records. It had the singles Come Share My Love, Imagination, the jazz standard which she brought to a modern audience, and Come Back to Me Lover. But there's some other songs that were just as strong, like Love Will Find a Way. Oh, she sings her heart out on that one. My Friend, beautiful, beautiful ballad, and I Surrender, great up-tempo moment. This let the world know there's a great new vocalist in town, and she showed out on this project. Miki Howard, Come Share My Love. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so we're down to the final 2 albums. And this next one is from gospel great himself, premier male gospel vocalist of his time. It is the debut album by Mr. Daryl Coley, and it's called Just Daryl. Let me show you the album. Yes, see it? I love this. I love this. It was released in 1986 on First Epistle Records. The sound is contemporary gospel with elements of R&B, jazz, and pop, which is what he did, throughout his whole career. I remember when this album came out, a friend of mine, Charles, had it, and I could not find this album anywhere in the city, and I used to borrow his, or listen to it when I was at his house, and eventually he gave it to me, so I appreciate this, and that's when I fell in love with Daryl Coley. But this album right here, some incredible songs. His voice just covers everything so smoothly and beautifully. The songs Hang On In There, Nobody Like the Lord, Caught Up, I love that. His classic tune, Second Chronicles, and the song Stand Still, which was later included on Tremaine Hawkins' live recording. They both had great versions of it, but Daryl Coley is my guy, so I always stick with that. But much respect to you, Tremaine. But Daryl Coley, y'all know I love him. He can do no wrong. Nobody could sing like Daryl Coley. Nobody. And I miss him. Rest in peace, Daryl Coley. But I still have the music, and I am so appreciative of that. So let me show it to you one more time. Just Daryl. That's it. All right. Our last album. I had to bring her in one more time. It is the debut solo album by the songstress herself, Anita Baker, and the album The Songstress. Let me show it. Yes. Yes. The Songstress. It was released in 1983 on Beverly Glen Records. Of course, years before this, she had done an album with Chapter 8, and this is her breakout solo album, and what a hell of a debut it is. This album was just amazing. I was 11 years old when it came out. Just like Daryl Coley, I had someone that I used to borrow the album from, my godsister's uncle. He had the album and he played it all the time. So I used to borrow it all the time and listen to it. I was just fascinated with this album to the point he said, just keep it. So I kept it, and I've been in love with Anita ever since. But this album, it was warm soul music of the time. And Anita sang her ass off on this project. Of course, it had the big hit Angel. Yes, we all love that. Yeah, you're the best thing yet. No More Tears, Sometimes Will You Be Mine, and my favorite song on the project, which is called Feel the Need, which I call some good old brown liquor music. Yes, yes, yes. But everything was great. The funk stuff, the up-tempos, the ballads, everything was great. She sang so wonderfully. She used all of her range, all of her power on this project, and it was just incredible. Of course, it was a precursor to Rapture, but it still stands alone as a solid project of its own. So much respect to Miss Anita Baker with the Songstress. She also got a harmonica from this particular album, and rightfully so, because she is a singer of songs and she is my #1 songstress. So let me show it to you one more time. Anita Baker, the Songstress. That's it. All right, I did it. Me and my hat did it. 10 more of my all-time favorite albums. If you know any of these albums, let's talk about them in the comments. Let me know what's up. Let me know what you like. Yeah, let's have that conversation. So again, if you enjoyed this video, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let's continue to let the music play. But I want you guys to take care of yourselves, take care of each other, because that's all I got for now, but we'll be back in the new year with more videos. But always remember that when you come to this channel, it's all about music, it's all about love. So until I see you guys again, Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves. Much love. Peace.